Wonder what they're mining. Imagine living up here back in the day. Would be wild. What's up, guys? Christopher Polvoorde, and today we're going for a hike. We're up above Bishop, and we're gonna do, it's called Horton Creek Trail. It takes you up to Horton Lake. It's already pretty darn hot. I parked my car way down in those bushes right there. You can kind of see, because it's pretty wild 4x4 to get up here. I've been camping in my van past couple days, so if you want to see that, I'll link it down in the bio and right here. You can check that out. But today, I'm just gonna take you on this full hike. It's pretty exciting. It's definitely hot. It's like 8:30 in the morning, and I gotta say it's probably 85 at least. So it's gonna be a hot one today. Brought a lot of water, and yeah, let's go have some fun. Kind of see some switchbacks right here. Then I do believe switchbacks up there too. Just passed some backpackers. They said I got a good climb ahead, so they were going down trail. Looked like they spent the night or two up there, but we're gonna keep plugging along. This altitude is something I'm not usually used to, so not even super high yet, but the lungs are burning a little. Ourselves some marshy area, nice grass, but back to desert scape. There's tons of little lizards. They keep spooking me. I'm kind of just stoned out climbing, all of a sudden my little lizard runs across my toes. I'm like, whoo! Just made it on top of this little ridge. I believe that's the trail, but not positive. Didn't do a ton of research, like I said. It's kind of nice up here. There's a little breeze. Down in that valley, it was getting toasty. The time has come. The fish shirt. But you may ask, why am I wearing a fish shirt? I don't know. This thing's like nylon, super nice. Pretty nice to hike in. All I had otherwise was a black t-shirt, and I'd much rather be in a nylon. It's like meant for fishing. But I'm gonna work on my tan a little. Ditch the shirt because it is hot. Check this out. I didn't even know this was up here. Got ourselves a little, probably an old little mine thing. Sounds like there's a creek down there. I'm gonna go check it out. Elevation 8,500. Either Johnny or Boy Mine or Danny Boy Mine. Finally up in this big valley. I'm guessing, I assume the most of the lakes up there. That trail, which is the one I originally thought all the zigzags, I don't think that's where we're going. I think we're going up this way. Just passed another small group of hikers. It was pretty rad. It was just a father and probably 8 or 9 year old little girl, and she was just pumped to be out hiking. That's so rad. I feel like so many kids don't get outdoors now, so just put a smile on my face to see she was out here, had her backpack, carrying her own weight, and trekking up this thing on this hot day. That's a cool Father's Day for the dad for sure. Look at that crevice. That'd be pretty rad to hike up. If you could ski down it, probably a little too gnarly. But people do stuff like that because they are nuts. For sure we're gonna go up right there. But the legs are already chirping. They're not stoked. That's what happens when you don't hike and then you go for a big long hike. All uphill. Well, once again, I was wrong. I thought this shelf was where the lake would be, but no. So it's gotta be the next one, hopefully. Hopefully it's not 3 up. Don't know if the lake's got it. Was wrong once again, because that was that second ridge. There's a little pondish down there, but it's still not the lake that I'm heading for. Still trekking. Someone had a tent set up right there. Almost looked like they're in it too, so I didn't want to be too loud, but imagine living up here. Look at this. Oh. So rad. Fish jumped out of the water. This is what I call living. So rad. It's almost 10, so a little less than 2 hours to get up here, which I'll take it for stopping a couple times and stuff. This is beautiful. I just enjoyed the whole hike up, just taking it all in. Now I'm gonna dig into my peanut butter and jelly, and then I might jump in the water. I don't know. It's pretty cool up here. About 20 minutes ago when I was in the heat, I would have like dove in this thing. But now I'm like, it's probably freezing. Tastes amazing. Nothing better than peanut butter and jelly. I finally worked up the courage. Okay, let's do this. It's gonna be so cool. Oh. Gosh, man. Oh, so cold. My feet are already going numb, but it does feel good on them because they're worked from hiking. So based off the topo map I have on my phone, looks around right around 10,000 feet right here at this lake, and it's called Horton Lake. Looks like there used to be some mines, so I'm definitely gonna have to do some research once I get back. Yeah. Stoked I chose the hike over the mountain bike today because this is pretty epic. Well, time's come. Start heading back down. But first got a little climb out of the valley, the lake basin, which are getting the legs warmed up because they got a little stiff sitting around for an hour. Started down in that valley, down below that. One thing that I really love about hiking up in the mountains like this is the amount of different terrain you get to see. So this morning when I started pretty much in the desert, it was hot, very deserty landscape, kind of flat. Slowly started climbing in, got a little more rocky. Then I was in like some meadows where there was, some little springs running. Now I'm up in like the high alpine. I just dropped down from the lake, which, where there's only pretty much rocks, not many plants or trees, because it's up above 10,000 feet, doesn't like that. And then now, like here, got this big like valley, which we got rocky with some nice trees, and then all these little shrubs, and then got a nice huge meadow down there. Like, where else do you get to cover like all that different terrain in just a simple hour and a half hike? Not many places. All right, before we drop into the ridge, let's look. So we were roughly up there-ish, right there. So just came down, zigzagged the mountain, traversed across right here, went through this little creek. Now we're gonna drop down, and it's like a double step, and then we'll be able to kind of see where I started. So we just dropped down that second ridge I was talking about, and now we can actually see So the trail goes this way and kind of runs that way. But you can see out there, that's the van's right there in those trees. You can kind of see it, I think, almost, that little black dot right there. So that's where we started. So we still have a pretty good amount to do. So as I'm walking across this hot, high elevation desert, it got me thinking how perfect this is of training for Vegas to Reno, which is coming up in a little over a month. If you don't know what Vegas to Reno is, it's a race. You race from Vegas to Reno. I'll link up right here. There's a lot more info on, I don't know, one of these sides. I have another video where I explain what I'm racing and whatnot, so you should definitely check that out. And if you haven't seen that, that means you're not subscribed, so drop a subscribe. But yeah, Vegas to Reno, it's going to be extremely hot. It's in the middle of August. We're racing in we start in Vegas, which is always hot, but then we're going across the desert into kind of some higher desert / mountains, high elevation. I think at one point we're over 8,000 feet. So I'm like, this is perfect. I'm gonna be in the truck for, I'd say, at least 8 hours that day, probably more. So what's better than a 5-hour hike in the hot desert, high elevation? This is, but man, getting there, covering ground, but man, it's getting toasty the lower I get. Well, made it back to the trailhead. Yeah, now we gotta still keep going though, because I didn't park at the trailhead. But started up here, switched back, went up and over that ridge, down, and then deep in that valley. Feels good to be out here. The breeze has picked up, so feels really good. You can see the car way down there behind those trees. And then last night I camped right on the other side of those rocks. Boom, boom. Yeah. Oh, and then there's, so that's where we camped, and then that's that hill that I took the van up, and it was a little sketchy. Probably shouldn't have taken the van up there, but hey, the old transit van had no problem. Here we go, baby. We made it. Pumped. Honestly, this morning when I first started off, my legs, I didn't think I was gonna make it, but we made it all the way up and over that canyon, and now back to my beautiful van. I missed you. 11.3 miles, 4 hours and 4 minutes round trip. I will take that for not having hiked in a long time. When I first started off, I did not think I was going to make it, so my legs were smoked just getting to the trailhead, let alone up the rest of the mountain. But yeah, if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I drop new content every single week, anywhere from off-road racing across the desert at 120 to going on hiking, van trips, or even flying. Always new content, always exciting, that never disappoints. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, drop a comment down below what you guys thought, and I'll see you next week.